Hello students, this is Mr. Hart, and in this unit we're finally ready to start talking about programming. Okay, now we've talked a lot about algorithms and those may have seemed a little abstract, but we're definitely going to apply them now, and we're going to program some really cool stuff, and I'm really excited. Before we get started though, I want to share a little story with you. As you probably have guessed, I'm kind of a programming nerd and have always been one ever since I was little. And one of the first things I was able to do was actually program a video game for my sister when I was 12. And so I programmed this game. It's called Twin Quest. She's my twin sister, so this was supposed to be her. I could program. I can't draw. And these are supposed to be squirrels, and this was supposed to be Trogdor from Homestar Runner, for those of you that know that old internet website. But I just want to show you some parts of it because it's just kind of fun. It's nothing spectacular by any means, but it's just fun to look at. So I had a cool little starting menu. She had to run away from robots. She had to run away from fire, and she had to fly to school. Okay, and all sorts of weird and fun things. Okay, I don't know why there's barbershop poles in this guy, but you get the point. Anyway, so it's just this fun little video game that I made for her. And the reason I show you that is because we're actually going to start building some games. Now, why would we start building games if we're learning programming and we were talking about algorithms? Well, it turns out that games use all sorts of algorithms, right? You may not even think about it when you're playing a game, but if you hit this character, then you get this many points. If you get this goal, then this happens. If you run into this wall, then you stop. If you hit into this thing, then you die, whatever it may be, right? There's all sorts of algorithms and things that occur in a game that need to be programmed, okay? So games actually a great way to start learning how to program, and so that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start building some games and some animations, okay? The language that we're going to use, every algorithm needs a language to describe it to the computer, right? Because the computer can't really understand English. It needs some language to describe it. And so the language we're going to use is called Scratch, okay? And it's a website that you can visit. It's at scratch.mit.edu, okay? And so the website is a language in itself. It's kind of an interesting setup. So in a lot of programming, you build the program, you type it out, and then you run it. They've kind of put this website together so it can run the program and show you it at the same time. So it's a really nice way to get started with programming. Okay. So for today, we're not going to dive in yet. I just want to show you all the things you could do with Scratch, and that we'll do this here. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make a Scratch account. Okay. So this is mine, right? You'll just need to sign up. It's really easy. Right on the front page, it'll say sign in, and you'll make an account. And make sure to verify your email. You can't share anything in Scratch unless you verify your email, so make sure to do that. Okay? But once you're in, it should look something like this. Okay? And there's this create button to start making a program. We'll do that next time. But you can also explore other people's projects and get ideas for things you can do. Okay, so these are kind of the three tabs we're going to use. But specifically, I want you to focus on explore and ideas. Get a feel for what things people have done and can do in Scratch. Okay, I'm just going to show you some of my stuff. Okay, some of the programs I've seen and made, and some that even my little nephew has made. Okay, so for example, this is one he made. Let me open it up. Called Suncatcher. And you're this little cat, and you have to avoid the items and grab the sun. Okay, so you gotta avoid the duck and the snowman and the bowl of bacon or whatever it is, right? I don't know why you need to do this, but that's his little game that he made, right? So even with some very basic programming skills and basics, you can make pretty simple games, okay, and fun games, simple games, right, that you can work with and enjoy. Okay. Here's another one that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've thought about making a cell phone app. Maybe someday, we'll see. But this one's called Time Bomb Tiles. Okay, this was one of mine that I made, where your goal is to not let any of these numbers go down to 0. So you have to click on them to bring them back up to 100. But they get faster and faster. So you keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking. And your goal is never let any of them go down to 0. Okay? So it's pretty easy right now, but the longer you go, the harder and harder it gets. You keep clicking to bring the number back up. Okay? And so again, something simple, a simple game, trying to keep all the numbers at 100, etc. But something you can build with some pretty simple programming. Okay? Another one, just for fun, that I really enjoyed is someone made a full version of Pong. Okay? And I adapted this one, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so you can actually play the original Pong game in Scratch. Okay, this was the first video game really ever made, and you can actually program in Scratch pretty easily. Okay, so again, just to get excited that you're going to be building some games. So start thinking about some games you may want to build. Obviously, you're not going to build the next Blockbuster or anything, okay, or AAA game or anything like that. But start thinking about some simple games that you may want to create and design. Okay, you probably will be able to do it in Scratch. Okay, so your homework is to get a Scratch account and again start exploring. Okay, see what other people have done. Start looking at ideas. Okay, of what people have done with making stories and animating characters, animating their name, etc. We'll do some of these. Okay, but just get a feel for what can be done on Scratch, and then next time we'll actually start building, designing, and programming some basic stuff with Scratch. Okay? Thank you guys. Looking forward to seeing you then.